Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the Legendary Love 28-Day Challenge. We are so excited to be with you, and I'm so excited to spend another lesson with Marla and Julian. For those of you who are new this week to this Legendary Love Challenge and to Marla and Julian are world-class intimacy experts. But most importantly, they are amazing human beings who have dedicated their lives to helping couples grow. So I love that. And I love them. I'm so excited for you to be here.
We're so happy.
And yeah, no, thank you so much. And I've heard from so many of the members in our Facebook group how much they love this. The focus in all of their lives is so much right now in the immigration journey. And it's so great and so refreshing that they're getting this opportunity to refocus on what's most important. And so for everybody who didn't get to join last week, if it's all right, Marla and Julian, I'm going to do my layperson's quick overview of what you taught last week. And then you can, of course, correct anything. And I also want to be vulnerable, as you know, I'm working on that, and tell you that I did my homework, the challenge that you provided. I'm going to share with everybody my experience. So first and foremost, for those of you who didn't get to join last week, Marla and Julian taught us, the lesson was called "It's Not Your Fault, It's Your Biology." And so it's just this reality in which we live in, this human experience, that when we are with our partners, and actually just in any relationship, there are certain things that activate us, not trigger, try to use a positive term, that activate us, that start this chemical reaction in our body that it's not our fault, it's our biology that we can't control. And that causes physical manifestations. And for me, that sometimes when somebody is upset, or if my husband is upset, even if it has nothing to do with me, it causes my biology, my chemical drip to start. And that I just feel nervous and my stomach will hurt, or I'll feel anxious. And so Marla and Julian said the first step is to realize that is happening, to become curious and just notice that it's happening in your body. And I appreciated after we talked and you said, just have grace for yourself and be gentle with yourself. And so my husband, this was my experience, this was my homework, and he was upset about something, not at me. It had nothing to do with me. And I let him know, you know what? I've noticed that when you're upset about something, or when somebody else in my life at work or wherever is upset about something, it makes me feel not good. It makes me feel kind of anxious. My stomach hurts and I feel like I need to control something or do something. And I just think that's interesting. And I want to think about that. And he thought, yeah, he goes, everybody, I think, has some kind of reaction like that. And so you're human. That's probably normal. And that just was very validating. So that was my homework and my experience. And so Marla and Julian, you can elaborate if I didn't explain anything quite right from last week.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. Sounds like you got a wonderful outcome.
Yeah.
I actually feel emotional listening to you share, Megan. It's so wonderful. We cannot underestimate the power of having our partner reflect that we're human, and that it's okay to have human body sensations, experiences, expressions that we would prefer to not have. I prefer not to get activated in my biology. I'd prefer to just be a peaceful Buddha giggling all day long.
Me too.
But
that dynamic tension is what makes life magical. Like if we were all just sitting laughing Buddhas,
I don't know, it might be pretty great.
I think it could be pretty great.
I know, even the best example I gave, I don't know. And yeah, it adds the flavor. It adds,
the dynamic tension is what gives the romantic relationships their zest.
Yeah. And truly, I had a lot of shame for many, many years about bodily functions, like going to the bathroom and having a menstrual cycle and having a snotty nose, and it just didn't fit to my paradigm of perfection.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate just you sharing, how Carlos reflected something so natural and organic, which is you're human. And that is a perfect lesson from "It's Not Your Fault, It's Your Biology." I couldn't have described it any better.
and you masterfully led him into his curiosity, right? So because he was feeling some sort of feeling, we don't know, fill in the blank. And then you got questioning about, well, what's going on with me? And then you shared with him, well, this is what I'm feeling. And I've noticed that I feel this way. I'm going to ponder on that. Immediately, he started thinking too, let me think about that. Oh, it seems like a lot of people actually would probably have a response. So he got out of his whatever the situation was that was causing him to boil was enough. You pulled his attention off of it just enough and lovingly for him to get curious.
And to get on the same page.
What a gift.
The two of you were on the same page. You were no longer the enemy, even though it was just because you were in the room. Everybody else was the enemy.
Proximity is enough.
That's enough. Mm-hmm. You became an ally when you got curious about yourself and you went inside. And when our partners feel like we are allies because we're not adding to their fire, we're actually getting curious about what's happening inside. And then like a narrative bubble sharing, whoa, here's what's happening. This is so strange. This is what's going on. And then you get compassion reflected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And connection.
Yeah.
And validation.
And love. And
yeah, the validation for sure. And just, I even said, like, sometimes I think I must be crazy or something. And he's like, nah, everybody has that. He's like, there's gotta be. He's like, we're all crazy. And he's like, and that's okay. And I was like, yeah, no, that's cool. And it was nice. So it was I loved the exercise. I hope everybody else who's watching, if you haven't watched last week, watch it again, do the homework. It was actually kind of intimidating. I was a little nervous about doing it, but I'm dedicated. I'm glad I did it. So
I love it. Here's the other cool thing, Megan, about it is that you can't do it wrong. Mm. You just can't. Okay. Impossible. And just having the first positive experience there, you just want to remember your biology is happening anyway. You might as well observe it. You might as well get to know it. Become friends with it. Get to know your biology. Get to know what happens inside when you get activated by anything. It could be somebody coming to the front door. Who comes to the front door anymore, right? So it's like, who's here? That can activate your biology. You can stub your toe. That activates your biology. Shower water's too hot, etc.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And just, I want to mention too, for everybody who's watching, Marla Julian, my husband and I had worked with them before, and they give us exercises. And I know that you gave us an exercise and we did it, but I told Marla, I remember I told you, Marla, that I said, well, I didn't really do it the way that you had told me, but it kind of worked. And we ended up both laughing. And I like how you and Julian aren't trying to create, you said, like mini-me's, that you want us to all be ourselves and that we can't do it wrong. And so I had my own little twist on the homework. So I hope I hope everybody who's watching understands that you don't have to do it that way. It shouldn't be an obstacle for you to have to do it like in some perfect way if you're a perfectionist like me.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's just say what the homework was. It was to observe your biology, basically, and then you took it all the way into what we taught in the actual lesson. And you took everything that we shared about using it as a way to go and deep inside and then share what you're feeling out loud. And so the only homework was actually to, observe it. And you went above and beyond. So, everybody, if you're observing, that is more than enough, right? Next step, you can start sharing what you're observing. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So that was a wonderful recap. And then this week, Marla and Julian, I'm going to turn it over to you. We'll be talking about NSPT. So tell us what that is.
Non-sexual physical touch.
Y'all ready, people? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this?
It's exactly as it sounds. It's physical touch and it's non-sexual. And it's specifically with the intention. It's giving one way from one partner to another partner to really give care and consideration and nurturing to your partner, going in one way for one partner to just receive. And for them to receive non-sexual physical touch without there being any misconceptions about this potentially leading to sexual physical touch. That's not on the table as we started. And it removes a lot of the pressure. Like with physical touch, sometimes when partners touch each other, it's like, well, is this going to lead to something? Like, I'm not sure.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know if that touch is supposed to mean something, right? And so it's really nice, like, to be able to explicitly say to your partner, like, are you looking for non-sexual physical touch, or are you open for this to lead towards sexual physical touch?
We have a fun little way of playing with that language to make it really easy. So you can see on the screen, it says NSPT, and that's like no spit, if you just kind of put that together. And then SPT is sexual physical touch, that's spit. So spit or no spit. And so, instead of using like, I'm not feeling sexual right now, or, I love you, but, you can just say, I'm down for NSPT today, or I'm down for no spit today. If you don't mind, I'm cool. I want to cuddle with you. I want to like feel you, but I just don't want to be sexual right now.
Or you can find another word that works, for your union. Like if that's not the right one, you can say potatoes or no potatoes. Or potatoes.
Right.
Like whatever makes you laugh in your union, that like find something that works for you.
Yeah. And so non-sexual physical touch has some pretty amazing healing properties. So not only does cortisol level go down with non-sexual physical touch, because the pressure and anxiety around sex is decreased. When you explicitly are practicing something in a non-sexual way, where you're like, this is a non-sexual experience where we can touch each other and be together without any pressure of it having to go into sex. Or you could also use it as like a turn-on runway where you're explicitly feeling, let's have some non-sexual yet physical touch that will lead sometime down the road tonight into sexual physical touch. But for now, let's set a timer for 30 minutes and just enjoy each other in one of the 6 hugging positions, which we'll go over in a little bit. Or, you can practice the week 3 activity this week is called the silent treatment you'll love.
Oh, go ahead. Now give me some of that silent treatment. I love it.
Right? It's because, the silent treatment you'll love, you actually will absolutely love it. It's because
it's not the silent treatment you won't love.
It's not the silent treatment you usually know. It's the different one. Because NSPT is, a lot of trauma that happened in our lives from pre-birth through birth, childhood, and beyond. Most of it is pre-verbal, meaning pre-words, meaning before your first language, whatever your first language is or was, before you learned how to speak words, there was a different language. And it was the language of vibration, the language of sound vibration, the language of energetic vibration, the language of water vibration, right? If you're in the mama's womb, right? It's water, mostly water in there. And so there's this power that happens where you're growing. Literally, your brain is growing, your body's growing inside your mama. And then when you come out in your birth, you're still absorbing constantly from the environment. You're just open. And before you speak any language. And non-sexual physical touch has this incredible power to release old wounds and trauma that happened pre-verbally. And so what happens is you start to feel comfortable in your own skin next to your partner in their skin. And you heal each other in union without any words at all. And sometimes the reason why we specifically have this assignment or this activity, should you choose to accept it, as the silent treatment you'll love, is because a lot of times when couples practice NSPT and they start talking, the conversations are great. And what usually happens is all of a sudden you relax, and then your to-do list pops up, and you're like, oh, and then all these 12 things you forgot to ask your partner about are like, oh yeah, what about, did you sweep that front porch? What are we talking about, right? And so we pull ourselves out of the moment. And so the power of this silent practice is both partners get to enjoy silence. You can put some music on.
With no words.
With no words, just have ambiance.
Right.
And then let the power of the physical touch and the love you have for each other, let that vibration just fill the room, and let yourself love your partner in your thoughts, in your heart, in your body, and send that out through every pore of your skin. And if you're the one receiving, like if you're doing a swapping of a foot rub or something, then just receive. If your partner's the one giving to you, just receive. Your job is just receive, receive, receive. If your to-do list pops up, thank you, not right now, right? If it's still that important, it will rise again. You'll hear the list again, right? Let's see. What else do we want to talk about?
You were talking about where you said you're going to go over the hugging positions.
Yeah, the 6 hugging positions. Do you want to show them?
Mhm.
Should we show them?
Let's show them.
So there's basically 2, and then they're either standing, sitting, or laying down. So you'll see, and that adds up to 6.
And if you're able, since this will be on a podcast as well, for those who are listening after on the podcast, are you able to kind of describe it so they can?
Yes, we will
Okay.
describe it, and we'll make sure that we're
That's perfect.
into the mic too. Okay, so the 6 hugging positions. The first 2 are standing, and you're going to stand from behind with arms wrapped around your partner. And so you've got the partner in the back, their belly is up against your back, and you're in front.
Big spoon, little spoon.
I was just going to say the spooning. Yes.
And this is really fun. You can sway back and forth. You can, just kind of relax into your partner. Okay. And by the way, swippy swappy, just because he's taller by a lot doesn't mean he doesn't also love a hug from behind.
I get to be the little spoon.
He's a little spoon. So let yourself have an experience where your partner gets to be the little spoon, and then you get to be the little spoon. Everybody gets to be the little spoon. So you always want to swap. And then the second standing position is heart to heart. And that means left side of your body. So your left ear touching your partner's left ear. So my left ear, his left ear. I need to face him towards the mic.
No, you're fine. And anybody who's listening to this on the podcast afterwards will be able to watch. You can watch the live video as well.
So good. Okay, and when you're doing that heart-to-heart hug, you really want to be in the breath together. So in the beginning, when you first come together, your breath will be in different, one person's inhaling, the other person's exhaling, and you're kind of all over the place. Eventually, you want to see if you can start inhaling together and exhaling together. And something happens when you are in a 4-minute hug. And this is our recommendation. It's based on science that we did not create. The science basically says that you lower your blood pressure, you lower cortisol, you increase oxytocin, which is the cuddle hormone, is the happy hormone.
You reduce anxiety.
And also
you decrease physical pain.
And so for 4 minutes of a hug, actually 3 minutes is the minimum. But we say, if you're going to go all in, just do it. 4 minutes will take you over the edge, where you really get to relax together.
So those 2 positions can be done in 3 different ways, right? You can do it standing up. You can do it sitting down.
And sitting down.
You have your legs wrapped around your partner as well, arms and legs.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do it laying down, like traditional spooning
style.
Yeah.
Make sure you have pillows.
Indeed.
Pillows are your best friend when you're doing any laying down positions. You want to make sure that the hips and the legs and the knees and everything have something soft. Something
so 2 hugs, 3 ways.
And you said it decreases physical pain?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So I need that every time I have a headache, huh?
4-minute hug. Go hug your husband for 4 minutes.
Yes. And also put an ice pack on your head at the same time.
All right.
If you have a headache, ice pack on the head and a hug for 4 minutes, because this will cool you down enough to not get annoyed with the heat that comes from your partner.
Okay. Yeah. He's going to be like, you're crazy. You're so silly.
You're going to say, you knew that about me when we got married.
That's what I do. I said, yeah, you know what you signed up for.
Exactly. That ain't nothing new to you. Okay, this is such an important piece here, which is we want to just share that some people have a lot of tenderness around non-sexual physical touch, meaning they're almost more comfortable with sexual physical touch rather than the slow nurturing of non-sexual physical touch. And so if you are a little hesitant to receive non-sexual physical touch or to do this practice, just remember non-sexual physical touch is also holding hands, right? You can say
high five is a non-sexual physical touch.
High five. It's intention. The intention is I am going to love my partner through my physical touch. I'm going to use my body in a non-sexual way to give to my partner.
To express my love in a physical way that's not sexual.
Yeah. Would you talk a little bit about exquisite attention?
Yeah. Exquisite attention is one of my favorite things in the whole world to receive from Marla. Exquisite attention is a practice where one partner basically puts their intention of love and all of the feelings that they have for their partner without saying any words. They just put those vibes, those loving vibes through their hands, and they kind of put those good vibes into their feelings, into their heart and into their hands. And they just have so much appreciation for their partner, and nothing needs to be said. This is all going on in your own mind, just speaking all your love about your partner, and you're just putting all that love through your hands and letting them receive it.
And it's like a 1-minute session. You could say, hey, sweetheart, would you just stand there for 1 minute and receive love from me? You don't have to do anything except receive and breathe it in. And then you put a timer on and you do exactly what Julian just said. And you just say to yourself all the loving thoughts you have for your partner for today, for their whole life. May they feel uplifted in joy. May they feel free from pain or suffering and enjoy, their body and etc. All the things. And it's kind of amazing. 1 minute. Everyone can spare 1 minute. And this is a nice scaffolding step if physical touch is not really your thing. Exquisite attention, it's the intention that allows for the attention to actually go in and penetrate.
No, that's awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I know one of the questions that our couples and anybody who's going through the immigration process, a lot of times that they are not in the same country. So it sounds like that this could even be done, because I know a lot of them will use not Zoom. I'm definitely a business owner because that's the first thing that came to mind is Zoom instead of like WhatsApp and yeah, I don't know all the cool kids are using, but anyway, technology. So to be able to talk to each other, so they could do it over the phone is what you're saying, or video.
100%. Also, you can practice NSPT in your mind being on video. So you can actually hug a pillow and you can look at each other. You can look at each other while you're hugging the pillow. Your brain is going to fill in that this is my person. Why is it I can smell Julian's sweatshirt and he's right here with me? Do you see what I'm saying? Our minds are so powerful. Physical distance doesn't matter. Don't use that as an excuse or a barrier. You can absolutely feel your partner as if they're right next to you when they're across the world. It's in your mind. So close your eyes if you need to. Hear their voice. Put your earbuds in. Like that's a good time, or headphones. So all you hear is their voice and listen to the same music, like really get into the vibe together. Exquisite attention works anywhere, obviously, but like try one of these 6 hugging positions. Like,
magic.
Yeah. Even with distance, we want to hear how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think that's and I like how you mentioned too about like the smell on Julian's shirt, because when my husband and I had a time that, we would like be visiting each other, but be apart a lot, and it was hard. I always liked when, if he'd sleep on the pillow, I know he'll probably be like, oh, you're so dorky for sharing this, but just to smell his sweatshirt, I'd always be like, just leave your sweatshirt. And then I would wear it. And then, at night or something that you could, and he goes, why do you do that? Because it smells like you. And then you're here. So like you mentioned that.
It's a beautiful expression of love. It's a feeling of safety. It's a feeling of like, you can relax. Like when the person that you love, you smell them, you experience them, there's something that happens on a biological level where we go, I'm safe.
It's pheromones.
Yeah.
And also
That's
sometimes
that's what's happening on a biological level with the pheromones. You're like attracted to your partner and you're smelling that, and it's reminding you of the safety and love that you feel when you're with your partner.
Maybe in the next fight you should ask to like
Give me your
smell
sweater.
his sweatshirt. Thank you. That might be fun.
Another one of my favorite places to receive and to give NSPT is in the shower, in the bathroom, or in the bath. Like just washing your partner's hair is such a sensual and non-sexual and loving way to give and to receive. Just like shampoo and condition with love. It doesn't take but 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe 8 if you leave it on for 3 minutes to let the condition do its thing. But it's a short thing. Jump in the shower together and like wash each other's hair, or put like a body scrub and like scrub your partner's back, and then wash them down. I mean, it's just the intention of like, I am cleaning you, I am loving you, I am caring for you, I am nurturing you.
Oh, you want to try a very vulnerable NSPT practice, a non-sexual physical touch? Wash your partner's entire body, the whole thing, in between the toes, in between all the bits and parts, every part,
every nook and cranny,
armpits, everything. Nothing, everything that's skin gets touched. And it is an incredibly vulnerable experience
for
to
both partners.
Receive that and to give it. It is that's an advanced technique. You don't
I
have
was going to say that's next level.
all you
Like,
out
well,
there.
I don't know about that one. It's a very loving thing to do. And you know what? Somebody did it for you when you were a baby.
True.
It's just a baby in a larger package. That's all. That's how you think about it. And so then you can just be loving and kind and playful.
And to be explicit, it's non-sexual washing of your partner.
Non-sexual.
Just for
non-sexual washing. It's kind of lovely. Or in the bathtub even, which is kind of fun.
And I know. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you what?
No, I said we see you, Megan.
No, yeah, because you just got to that advanced stuff, and now I'm like all red, working hard to keep myself together here. No,
you're doing great.
So I know you kind of already alluded to. You've already kind of given the homework, but do you want to give it again?
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, let's do that. So basically, the silent treatment you'll love is this non-sexual physical touch practice. And we're explicitly requesting that you do it without words and in silence. The silent treatment you'll love because, it's so easy to just start talking about your to-do list. So we want to have
it helps to maintain the sacredness of the practice.
Exactly. You're going to set a timer for an agreed upon amount of time. And we recommend to start between 5 and 10 minutes. Don't go into like the 3-hour thing. Just make it short, make it doable, make it achievable, make it finishable. Okay. And each partner gets 5 minutes, and you can choose from any activity that requires no words. You can be one of ours, one of the 6 hugging positions. We recommend that you do a 4-minute hug. If you're going to do one of the hugs, standing from behind with arms wrapped around, heart to heart, left side to left side, your left ear is touching. You could also do that standing up, seated, or laying down. You could also rub each other's feet or shoulders or forearms, because most of us are on computers these days or devices in some way. So rubbing each other's forearms and hands is so wonderful. And then, like Julian said, the shower or bath water play.
Yeah. It's the best. And you get clean at the same time. You're 2 birds, 1 stone.
And what, if you can explicitly agree in advance, if the NSPT is going to lead to sex potentially, or definitely not. So if you're definitely not down for a sexual encounter, even by the way, on FaceTime, if you want to keep it more in the PG realm and you don't want to have any kind of a sexual experience on your FaceTime, it's okay to say, this is a no spit session, honey, or how you want to use the spit and no spit. We think it's playful to say spit and no spit, and it's easy to say, and you choose how you want to say it. So certainly the first time you practice this, keep it non-sexual. You might feel like, oh, wow, I feel kind of relaxed and sexual for the first time in a long time.
That's perfect. Bank it.
Bank it for later. Don't move it into sex if you've agreed that this is a non-sexual experience. So we recommend the first time is in silence, both of you. Once you get settled, then you're like, okay, now silence. And then also that it's explicitly non-sexual the first time. And if you want to do it again, an hour later, you can decide to do something else. And then, let us know how it goes. We want to know.